Welcome to Beyond Normal Days. I'm your host, Guillermo. This is episode 21 featuring Los Angeles native Christopher Zalapa. Christopher is a DJ and producer representing Night Rings. In this episode, you hear about Chris's musical upbringing, which includes his discovery of electronic music. From encountering house music at a monster truck rally to sneaking out of his house to attend his first rave, Chris has consumed an array of genres from the electronic palette. Chris talks about attending popular raves such as Together as One, Winter Fresh, Juju Beats, and the Electric Daisy Carnival in Los Angeles. While attending raves and other electronic music events, Chris fell in love with the energy DJ Irene was putting out while mixing records for a packed dance floor. After that experience, Chris began mixing trance, hardcore, and other electronic music records. Shortly after, Chris decided to experiment with various digital audio workstations and commence his music production experience. Chris also talks about working with an audio engineer to advance his music production skills and the process behind his recent release, Shortness of Life. This episode is an all-around great listen for any up-and-coming and established artist. Thank you, Chris, for all the insight. The mix for this episode was curated by Christopher himself. Make sure to check out his recent release on Night Rings, Shortness of Life, out on all streaming platforms. Thank you, Anthony, aka In Between, for making this episode happen. Follow Chris on Instagram and on SoundCloud at Christopher Zalapa. Also follow Night Rings on Instagram, Twitter, Bandcamp, YouTube, and Twitch at Night Rings. Follow Beyond Normal on Twitter at BeyondNormal_, and on Instagram and Facebook at Beyond Normal Official. Thank you for tuning in, and now please welcome Christopher Zalapa.
expérimenté.
Je sais. Je suis née pour être malheureuse. D'ailleurs, je ne serai pas malheureuse.
This is Beyond Normal Days, and today I'm here with Christopher Zalapa. First and foremost, shout out to Anthony Casillas, aka In Between, for making this happen. Do you want to start off by letting the listeners where you're from?
Yeah. Um, well, I'm from Los Angeles, but specifically, I was born and raised in Huntington Park. Well, now it's called like Southeast Los Angeles. But yeah.
Oh, dope. That's sick. So, Los Angeles native. How was it growing up, in that area?
Well, growing up, it was a little tough. I'm assuming just like any other like um, like probably like Hispanic driven area. Unfortunately, like it was pretty tough. But as the years went by, it started to mellow down, and now it's like there's like hardly any like gangs or any violence like that. I mean, there's still things happening, but for the most part, it's great, man. I'm really fortunate to be part of this community and being a Los Angeles native.
Yeah, that's cool. And then, like, music wise, you've seen, you've gotten to experience just the culture and embracing all that. How would you describe, Los Angeles to somebody who's never been there?
Oh man, it's like honestly, it's the city of dreams, man. Like as cliche as that sounds, like it's really that. It's like you it's like paradise, man. Like step outside and there's like palm trees, beautiful weather, beautiful people, amazing food. Like there's a reason why there's a lot of people that want to be here.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your musical upbringing? What type of music was being played by your family?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just like well, my both my parents are from Mexico, so I like grew up listening to a lot of like corridos, like Chalino Sanchez, and things like that. So there's constantly music being played. There's never like a dull moment. So um like where I started noticing like my uncles and really started like bringing in a lot of like different music because my parents were just like, oh no, we're Mexican, so we listen to this. So I was like, cool. But then I was like, I kind of like this style, and when my uncles will come and like different relatives, they'll introduce like hip hop, some rock, and like just different stuff than what my parents were playing. So I was like gravitating more towards my other family members.
That's tight. I like that's why I asked that question because I always, for the most part, uncles, cousins, just other, family members, they really like kind of create that foundation or give us a little bit of the foundation of, letting us or introducing us to different genres or just artists in general.
Yeah, man, hell yeah.
Uh,
It's necessary, no? Like for other people to like show you like beautiful fucking music from other parts of the world.
with your family member or well, I'm not sure if it was your family members, but do you remember like when and how you got introduced to electronic music?
Honestly, it was from my uncle. Like one of my closest uncles. He grew up in the '90s, so he would go to a bunch of raves, and I would remember hearing like just crazy music from him, and I was like, dude, what the hell is this? And I like vividly remember this one time where he took me to this was like when monster trucks was like a real big thing.
Yeah.
So he like took me and he was with all his friends and I was in the back and like they were playing like Burning from like MK, like all those like classic '90s hits. Like like I was hearing them and I was just like I was a kid, so I really didn't know. But it wasn't until like that I'm an adult where I was like, okay, like like now I get why my uncle was always partying and like why I would see these flyers and shit.
he said he said now I know why he was partying. I feel that. Yeah, it's cool when you get introduced to everything, you kind of feel that connection and then you can kind of look back, you're like, oh shit, dude, my uncle used to play all this stuff, or
Yeah, man,
it
it's a
was
trip
always.
because it's like it's you can like in a way that that person is like molding you to what you're gonna be in the future or some
Mhm.
sort of like that.
Yeah. And did you get introduced to DJing or music production? Was there one before the other?
Honestly, man, well, I think before those two, it was partying, like going to raves and like sneaking out of my house to go to these parties. That came first, and then like DJing and then producing. But
Well, let's talk about that. Your party. I like hearing people's stories about partying.
Oh,
There's always
okay.
they're
Yeah,
always
hell yeah,
good.
man.
In the overall spectrum, partying is therapeutic. But yeah, so let's talk about that. Like, were you going to like house parties? The all ages clubs and raves, or what was your thing?
Yeah. Well, for me, I started going to like punk shows
Oh,
and like ska
sick.
shows and like doing that first. Like so, like from I would say like late middle school up until like so all throughout high school, I was going to like punk shows, and then I remember like one of my neighbors, he came to my house like at like, probably like 8 in the night, and he's like, "Hey, I have this rave that we're gonna go to because his brothers were the same age as my uncle that would rave." So I was like, I honestly thought raves were only a thing in like Europe, and I didn't know they existed in the United States. So naturally I said yeah, but he's like, but it starts at like 10, and we're not gonna be back till like the next day. So I was like, shit, dude, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to sneak out of the house.
yeah.
And sure enough, man, I did it. I sneaked out, and then I started. That's what I started. Like sneaking out of my house and then just going to these parties. Like you know,
And was there any like maybe any artists that you gravitated to at first, or then maybe started to like, go out to specifically see an artist or anything like that?
yeah, I'm pretty sure you will know this person. It will be like DJ Irene.
Oh yeah, like Hard House and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like them. I totally forgot his name. Swedish something.
Swedish Eagle or
Yeah, yeah. So I started seeing those two, and like funny enough, man, like I was really into like gabber, like hardcore, um, even happy hardcore, and then like drum and bass and shit, like house and like and trance, and then like house came a little bit later, but um, I feel
no?
like house is a very like sophisticated, it can be
I was
sophisticated,
gonna
but
say mature, but
mature. There you go. It's exactly what I was looking for, and yeah, so it's like I like was going through like those little subgenres of like electronic music, and then eventually, when I was like 18, 19, I understood about like house. I got it. I started like doing a bunch of like house events, and I just fell in love with it, dude. Like house and techno, like it just became my thing.
no, I 100% or 100% plus get you. That's I feel like and now when every time I talk to people who have been like in the rave culture for longer than I am, whatever. They always started off with something else, sometimes how you said hardcore, happy hardcore, drum and bass, and I feel like that was popular in Los Angeles, back in those years. So it's and then right now house and techno specifically are very popular right now, so a lot of people do gravitate to that when they, I guess, mature or evolve more than anything their like sound, like taste palette, I guess,
Mhm.
like what you want to listen to or
Yeah, yeah, for
party to.
sure. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, I mean, I've met people that just like stick to like a certain style and a certain genre of music for like ever, and I'm just like, dude, like, there's so much good music out there in the world, like, and it would be a shame if you just like stick to that. So it's nice to hear different types of music, you know.
Yeah. And may I ask, like, just because it just came to a head right now too, because you said you used to go see DJ Irene, and I think so that means you for sure have been like raving and partying way longer than I am. How old are you, if I can ask that?
I'm gonna be 30 this year,
Oh,
so
okay. So I'm
yeah.
gonna, yeah, I'm gonna be 28 this year, so we're not too
Oh,
far
okay.
off.
Yeah, you're not too far, man. Like I started, like honestly, I would go to parties around like 2006.
Oh shit, yeah, that's way before me
Yeah,
then.
man. Like, cause I remember one of my first parties. It was I don't know if you ever went to this warehouse called Chester's Warehouse. It was in like South Central, or now it's called South Los Angeles. But they would throw like Black and White Fest, Winter Fresh, um, Buzzy Fest. What else? Lights Out 1 and 2. Like those parties. They were being I think Crave Events was running them. Um,
Mhm.
who else was doing it? Go Ventures. I think, or
Yeah,
Go Adventures or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, like those promoters were the ones throwing it, and yeah, dude. Like, and these guys named External. I don't know if you know them.
Not them, maybe. Well, probably people who are listening to this will be like, "What? What do you
Yeah,
mean?"
so yeah, dude. I've been like I've been like partying for a while, dude. I love it, man. Like I'm don't think I'll ever stop.
Oh, I like that energy. That's same. I kind of realized as well too that like the just the electronic music culture and everything. It can go whatever you want to use it, but I think the party culture like that comes with the electronic music. I love it. I love it a lot, and I think a lot of people can agree with you what you're saying right now. So
Yeah, man. Dude, like trust. Like I've had so many people um him tell me like, dude, you're still partying? Like you still go to raves? And I'm like, yeah, dude, like what the fuck? What? Just because I get a certain age or I get a certain job or whatever, a degree or whatever, like that doesn't mean I need to stop. Like I fucking love this shit, dude. Like, oh, I'm gonna do it till the day I die, you know?
I feel you. That I'm telling you, it's therapeutic at times. I like really just kind of I don't know, man, just the feeling, the way I'm just kind of like sometimes having these like existential thoughts, but just putting it into perspective with the music that's going on. I don't know. I get kind of a little loopy and crazy sometimes, but like it's very philosophical at times,
Nah,
and like I
yeah,
said,
dude.
therapeutic.
I totally get you, man. I'm right there with you too, man. Like it's I think I went like what 7, 8 months not partying, and I didn't realize how much it's a part of me, and I need that, you know?
Yeah. How are you feeling right now? Because we even forgot to mention, but this interview is going on, you know, you know, with the pandemic, during the pandemic of COVID-19. So, do you miss going out, or has anything changed up?
Um, well, like honestly, before all this happened, I was living in Napa Valley, so there's hardly anything in Northern California. I would have to go to the city, to San Francisco or Oakland to rave, but um, like San Francisco, really, like Northern California, they party, but I think there's more there's more events here in LA.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't really partying. That's what I mentioned. Like I wasn't partying for like 8 months or so. So when I came back here, I raved for like a month straight, and then pandemic happened. So it really does. I'm not really like feeling it as much. What I am feeling is like super happy and like just overwhelmed that so many people are doing like these live like raves. Like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
all that like going live. It's fucking dope because now I'm able to see all these people, and like we're all feeling this, we're all in this together, and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful
Literally.
thing that our community is, like it's not like nothing's gonna bring us down, not even the fucking global pandemic. That's, if anything, that's just gonna make us unite more.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love that. I think a lot of people for sure are like rooting you, rooting what you're saying right now. Because for sure, man, I have seen that. Well, how you said the live streams, I was telling the homie Elijah, third project. I'm like, dude, like we're assimilating to the virtual realm, like we're
Oh
like
fuck
how
yeah.
we're really like, like we just, I'm not sure if you saw Compound or other people have been doing it as well too, but Compound just recently did a 8 hour live stream with, just pure Los Angeles,
Oh, that's right. That's right. Trunkit, Drumso, and Annika Wolf were there, right?
Yeah, Dean
Yeah, yeah.
Paul, Subversive, Gia, but it
Pretty
was
good,
yeah,
man.
it was sick. So I was kind of thinking, I'm like, damn, this is literally like the new gigs in a sense for right now. Well, I'm not no expert, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen after this, but a lot of speculation about different things. But for the most part, it is that it's we're assimilating to a thing because everybody can be partying together in the comfort of their home, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's
I
still
mean,
that.
dude, that was fucking dope. Like, shout out to those guys, man, for making it all happen. And at what time did it end?
On our end, I think at 10? No,
Okay.
8, 9.
Damn,
What
that's
time?
that's still
What
pretty
time did
fucking dope.
Compound
Because right
end?
now, Sunwaves is
Oh,
doing
at
it too.
10.
I don't know
10.
if you heard about that.
You said Sun Waves?
Yeah.
No. What are
So,
they?
Sunwaves festival that happens in I want to say I know it's Romania, in the Black Sea or something like that. Yeah, so they're doing an event also because they were supposed to be having like their festival sometime this month, I believe.
Wait,
And
I'm looking it up right now.
yeah,
Sun.
yeah, dude, check it out. A lot of talent. Like it's just like underground house, minimal, like some techno. Some
Oh
really
wow.
good artists are. are playing.
Um, did you like attend like the Electric Daisy Carnival when it was here in LA?
Oh yeah, dude. I went to I think two or three of them before all this shit happened in 2009 or 10 when that girl died.
Yeah, I think the last one was in 2010 here
Yeah,
in LA specifically.
yeah. So it was the end, and that was like the last EDC. And then I went to Together as One. What else?
But you said Winter Fresh, so I know I remember those. Like I know those Fresh events. You know those.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought
Winter
that did
Fetch and then
recognize.
420 Festival, like all those. I would go to those also.
That's tight. That's tight. Um, how would you describe the vibes at that time? Like, were is there? Do you
Oh
think there's something
man,
specifically different than what's going on right now?
I honestly, dude, I don't want to sound old, bro, because I remember when I was like 18 and I was seeing ravers that are my age right now or a little younger, they'll be like, "Oh no, it was different back then." But I think like everyone says that shit, but what I feel it really is that we were young, when all that shit when we started partying, like we were young, we didn't have a lot of responsibilities, we were free, we were careless, So yeah, of course it was gonna be much better. We weren't as experienced, and now that I'm going to be 30, like when I go to these parties, like you can only party so hard, because we have work or like it affects you, like
Yeah,
like, it sucks about being old that you get tired or you won't recover for like the next 2 or 3 days, But
I know
yeah,
the recovery time takes a little bit longer. I hate that.
yeah, man. But honestly, dude, if you just party correctly and like if you like just you don't go too crazy all at once, and if you just like spread it, yeah, easily you could fucking party from 7 to 10 in the morning. Because I still do that, and it's just you have to do it smart, and you can't just like go fucking ham in the first 2 or 3 hours, because then you're not gonna last.
Yeah,
You're
that's
not gonna
true.
last long.
That's smart advice. I like that.
Yeah, man. So just whatever you're gonna take, make sure you know do it in a responsible in a way where it's like, okay, I'm this and this is gonna hit right here, or you know I don't know.
I like that. No, that's something that I like to do as well too. I gotta keep it. Well, I already know my body. I know what is ideal and what I should be doing, and not go too crazy, so I don't just burn myself out overall. And also too, like just um, I know I'm at a point where I kind of want to do stuff healthy, just in a healthy manner.
Yeah, man. Especially right now during these times, like that's the most wisest thing to do is care about your health.
Yeah, I recently been going on runs every morning, man. Like just kind of really feeling good. And the other day I had like a strong workout.
Nice.
Ate a little bit of mushrooms and, and some
Ooh,
and some little piece of some edible
nice.
and blasted. It was good. Like and the next day I just felt like super refreshed, like just dope. Like I did it properly. I'm like that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
man. It's
about.
like a quick little reset. It aligns everything, and it's like, okay, puts things in perspective, and
Big time.
it's like, okay, maybe I should start implementing this in my life, or maybe I should remove this in my life. And, I'm a big advocate for psychedelics.
And if you do them, well, it's like if you do them right, it's all that everybody hears it and it's true. You're set in settings, so for sure, I love it.
Yeah.
And well, just kind of leaning back to the music. When did you, or what was it first? Was it because was part of you introduced you the whole like raves, punk shows, and how did you get into DJing or producing?
I got into DJing when I saw DJ Irene like just having complete control of the crowd. Like I was like, what, probably like 17, and I saw that, and I've never seen like someone have control over like 200 people in a fucking room, and everyone was just like like in a trance, bro. So like that, like just imagine, like going into a warehouse, like a bunch of smoke and like these fucking lights, right? And you're seeing everyone just being like grooving as once, and dude, like it just changed my life. And I was from that point, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to party. I want to be I want to DJ. I want to make this music. So after like that event, I think I got like some turntables, and that's what started it all.
And you started off like with vinyl?
Yeah, I started doing spinning vinyl. Like I was spinning like trance and like hardcore in records, but then eventually this is when the what do you call it? What were those CDJs? The CDJs
Or the XDJ?
1000s, the MKs.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
So then after that, I was like, shit, maybe I should like lean towards that. So then I went digital, and then I've been digital for a while, and then I finally started doing vinyl again.
And when you say digital, did you ever like use Tractor or Serato?
Dude, I first used, what was that? Virtual DJ.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
I think that's a lot of people's first.
yeah, so I used Virtual DJ first. Obviously, it was cracked. Um, then eventually, I got Tractor, and I was using Tractor for a while, and then when I started like taking this whole like music production and DJing more serious, I was like, I need to invest in in like either a Pioneer DJ, like a controller, or something that has record box, because I needed to get used to the you know the turntables that I was gonna be using for like an event. So now
Yeah,
I'm
you want to
using.
be what's it called, like industry standard ready?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And right now you currently like use CDJ's record box. That's
Yeah.
the main.
Oh, I have two Pioneer PLX 1000s, the turntables,
Mm.
and then I have the, what do you call it, the RX DJ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. So like, it's pretty much record box without the laptop, and I've been using that for a while now.
That's tight. The video that was it posted up on Night Rings? Like when you did that, was that your setup?
No, that's Anthony's.
Oh, okay. Lit.
It's a sick
That's
setup, right?
yeah, dude. His setup is he actually has turntables, like two turntables and CDJs, right? Or XDJs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think he does. He has like the CDJs now.
Oh,
When
lit.
I went, I think something was wrong with the CDJs that he had, so I had to bring mine.
Okay, okay, okay.
But yeah, dude, like that guy has like Anthony and like his like group of friends. They're all like really really talented DJs, and they've always had like the the proper gear. So I was very fortunate to like seeing those guys like get down.
Yeah, and when did you meet Anthony?
Dude, I think I met him like probably like 10 years ago. I don't know if you know this guy named Eddie Nuno.
Eddie Nuno.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
he's really good friends with Anthony. So I met him through a mutual friend, and I've been knowing those guys for like probably like 10 years. But I think we've been like getting a little bit closer now in the past like 2 3 years or so.
That's tight. That's tight. And you do you know like their homies Billy, which is from 138, like Nathan or Keenan or Keon?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I've seen him at a party, but I don't think I've been like introduced to them. Or if I have, I was probably there a little too young.
I feel it. I feel I've been there. I've been there. And when did you actually start producing then? Or when did you or because you said DJing, so um when did you decide to like take it, a little bit more further with your skills?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I started DJing shortly after. I mean, sorry, I started producing shortly after I started DJing. I was able to get a cracked version of Reason,
Oh,
and yeah, so I used that for a good while, and then I was able to get Logic Pro, because I had originally started with a Windows computer, and then when I started going to college, that's when I got like a Mac. So once I got the Mac, I started using Logic Pro, and then eventually I jumped onto Ableton, and I never looked back since then, because Ableton is probably the most user friendly DAW that anyone could use.
damn, that's tight. I was gonna say right now though too. So that's the final frontier. I use Ableton. Well, we said earlier as well too that I use Ableton also to record some of
Yeah,
the podcasts. But
yeah, man. I mean, dude, it's like super user friendly. The key commands are solid as fuck. Like comparing them to Logic Pro's key commands, it's a little bit like it's not intuitive. So you kind of have to think a little bit. Whereas with Ableton, it's like, dude, you could, it's pretty much like copy paste and like right click here, and then like it's much easier in my opinion. And I've used what was it, Acid, like Sony Acid, um Reason, Fruity Loops, Logic Pro, and then now Ableton. So
Oh wow, you used a handful.
yeah, man, because like I was always like I'm kind of like little like tech savvy, you know. So I've always been into computers, so I was always like, cracking different softwares and like getting keygens and stuff like that. So I was able to go through different DAWs and figuring out, okay, which one works best. And then I was getting like mentored for like music production, and this my mentor was like, "Hey, jump onto Ableton, and I could help you a little bit better because I don't know Logic Pro." And then after I saw his workflow, dude, I was sold. Like he made a track like in 10, 15 minutes, and that pretty much convinced me, and I never looked back.
Yeah. And when did you start using like drum machines and synthesizers?
Dude, just recently, man. Dude, honestly, like I go through so many like phases where I'm strictly in the box, and then I get this like fucking musical fatigue, and then I just start buying like drum machines, and then eventually it goes back and forth. But now like I'm seeing the that like it's much better for me at least being able to touch things and being very like hands on and like tactile, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so now it's like I use a mixture of both synthesizers, like hardware and digital.
That's tight. I have a mini brew and I recently kind of started using it again and it was tight. I actually like really like I wouldn't say like, oh, I get it, like okay, cool, look, but I think it just I don't know, it was dope just to have fun with it. I was actually making some dope ass like sounds and I'm like, this is sick. So but that's the closest to I get to a synthesizer. But yeah. Um what about your did you use what did you use to make your recent release off on Night Rings?
Oh, that dude, I used a mixture of both. So it was during a time where I had the mini log, the just like the regular silver one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I used that, and then I was using like a bunch of analog VSTs, like Diva, pretty much everything from Yuhi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I pretty much did that whole release with a mixture of both. But like these upcoming ones, it's a lot of it's more hardware now.
That's tight. And the release that I'm like we were talking about, it's called Shortness of Life.
Yes.
So yeah, man, you gotta check that out. It's amazing. I was listening to it the other day, and I'm just like, fuck, this is so like so smooth and so good. Like, and it's also thumping at the same time, but groovy. I like it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, dude. That was like probably my second EP that I made, but
Oh,
second EP that I've made, and the first to be actually like released and being able to like showcase it to the world.
damn, that's tight. I know when Anthony like linked this up, I already had checked out your music. So when he said, like, hey, Chris would be a dope guest, I was like, oh hell yeah, dude. I'm like, I'm down, and also too because I like talking to LA natives. Like this podcast is not like Los Angeles strict because I'm not even from LA. I'm from the IE.
Oh,
But it's
in the
just
Empire.
yeah, San Bernardino to be exact.
Nice.
But like a lot of other people, we gravitate to Los Angeles. That's where the party scene and proper, just in general, any type of party, you're gonna find it there, and it'll be a good one.
Yeah, man. Dude, I mean, you guys had the Farrell's Water Park,
Oh
what
yeah, 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 yeah,
the Hudson Theater, I think, or something like that.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, the Hudson.
Yeah,
That's
dude, I
where
remember going to those parties also.
But you see, at that time, dude, like this is what I tell people as well too. Like the noob, I'm a late bloomer. I'm a late bloomer with the partying, so I didn't attend like Gotham or nothing like that. Like I went to the Hudson
Yeah,
once.
dude, those that place was fucking, dude, crazy. I've seen like people just looking like they're fucking gonna OD and shit.
Yeah, that's I think why it's off limits. Like nobody can throw anything there. It's like deserted. It's there's nothing there, and it's yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
what of all that
Imagine
happened was like,
you're like really far from the hospital, man. So if someone's overdosing, like dude, they need to take them to the hospital right away. You know,
yeah,
so like,
that's why I remember. I think I drove by the Hudson like a couple months ago. And I was like, dude, now I see why they were throwing the party here because it's kind of perfect because it's like off the freeway in a sense. It's right there, secluded, and you can, I guess, throw proper banging parties. But how you said it is kind of, he said it's kind of far away from the, I don't know, the main things that you need just in case something
yeah, man,
happens.
dude, it's like in the middle of nowhere, but yeah, dude, I had really crazy and fun moments there. Yeah,
Dude, I sometimes wish I got to experience it, but everything happens for a reason. I'm experiencing this party phase for a reason, so I'll keep it going.
yeah, man, you have to.
I
Like
know.
honestly, like it was cool, but it was like during the time when electronic music was like moving exponentially towards like the mainstream. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that was like during like 2007, 2008. Because again, this is just my opinion and from what I experienced, like 2009. And like I would love to have arguments with other people, but 2009 for me at least was like the plateau. That's when like everything changed. Like what we saw, like what we had created, in the scene was just gonna change. You know,
Yeah,
Like,
that's proper to say because I tell people I think 2000 I kind of ought to say 2010, but for sure 2009, especially you who've were in it like before that, it's much more credible to actually take your word for that.
it was a beautiful time, dude. Like I always look back, especially like during YouTube. Like since we have YouTube, I'll go back to like countdown of 2009 at the Together as One when like President Obama got elected. Like, dude, I just remember fucking being hopeful, because you're young and like you're just, I just graduated high school and I had this whole world to explore and crazy emotions that probably I won't be able to feel again unless something like that happens similar. But for the most part, man, like it was a beautiful time. I made a lot of friends and experienced things that probably a lot of people will never experience again.
Damn, that's tight. I like that. Man, you see, and this is like hearing that is again the same reasons why I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I'd have experienced it,
Dude, just
because
imagine
that's
the parties in the '90s, bro, or like the early 2000s.
yeah, that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are crazy. Like if you see it's called Juju Beats.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those parties, like what Doc Martin was doing with Carl Craig and Marcus Watt. Like
Oh yeah, Marcus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like those guys, dude. I remember seeing like videos of them two just standing in the back and like Carl Craig just getting down. And this is fucking the forest, bro. Like 4 in the morning, and like you see Doc Martin and Marcus just like really young and just honestly, man, I see myself in them. When I was their age, and like even as an adult now, it's like shit, dude. Like these guys loved it so much then, and they still love it right now. They're fucking. I don't even know how old they're. Probably in their 40s or so, but and they're still gigging everywhere. Where they were gigging, but it's they're still active in the community and they throw parties, they expose upcoming artists, and they give back to the community, and that's something beautiful that both Doc Martin and Marcus have done to the Los Angeles scene.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah. So, Doc Martin. Yeah, I hear him get always shouted out as like when people talk about LA, he's always in there as well too. It's tight. Do you have any other LA like hometown heroes you want to shout out?
Honestly, it's just them two, dude. Like I really have mad respect for them too, for everything they've done. Also, Lee Foss, bro, like he's been pushing since like probably like the early 2000s since he came to LA. I remember seeing his flyers for the Avalon.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been pushing for a cool minute, and and I really don't know what happened to him and Jamie Jones because they were originally together, like as like a duo or some sort of like that. Because I remember they played at the Standard for like their first showcase, and now like they separated.
Oh
Or,
wow, I didn't even know that.
I mean, I may be wrong. I'm just assuming, but it's because like
Yeah.
the whole thing with like Hot Nature, like I don't know if you like when Hot Nature, who was it? It was Jamie Jones, MK, and Lee Foss, and then they were touring for a cool minute, and the next like they stopped, and Jamie Jones started doing Paradise, and he started just like going all over the world doing Paradise, and I like stopped hearing about Lee Foss.
Oh, that's true. And when you said Hot Natured, like the record label or the group, because there was like a little like a funky group, Hot Natured.
Yeah, yeah. I think there was also a woman in that.
Yeah, yeah, she was a singer as well too.
Annabelle, I think something Annabelle.
Also, Lee Foss was part of that.
Yeah, I think so. I want
Oh
to say like
shit!
80% positive that Lee Foss was in that group also.
Oh wow,
Because it was
I
a
never looked into
trio.
it. Yeah.
Because MK was, yeah, I mean, obviously, MK was doing his thing in the 90s, and then he became Pitbull's record producer.
What?
Then yeah, so that happened, and then I think Jamie Jones or Lee Foss hit him up, and then they started, collaborating, and then they pretty much rekindled his love for DJing and producing for like house music.
Yeah. Wow, that's tight. Damn, that's tight. Damn, that's cool. That's cool.
So
And
like I think it's like those three guys.
oh,
But
that's
I mean,
interesting.
if I
Yeah,
tie it down for like two, it's hands down it's Marcus and Doc
Doc
Martin.
Martin, Doc. And when Anthony was introducing you into me, he said you're a chef.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about that?
sure. Yeah, man. I've been cooking for like professionally for about 11 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And um when did you like know that that chef was something that you wanted to do? Because I'm guessing because you said professionally, so there was times that you were cooking, not professionally for like I guess as a career. But was there a moment in that time that you decided like, dude, like I love this?
Yeah, I mean, I was still in high school. I was like obviously raving, and I didn't want to go to college, bro. To be honest, like I'm not really how do I say like sitting down in school is really hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was dating a girl at this time who won a scholarship for the Art Institute. So she would come to my house and like cook some stuff that she would learn, and then eventually like it was like second nature for me, and I was pretty good at it. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do this for a while, and fuck that while turned into like 10 years.
Damn, that's tight.
Yeah.
And where do you cook?
Well, now I finally put my apron down. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pursuing a different career. But I was like cooking at different restaurants in LA, man.
Damn, that's tight. And as a chef, do you think it takes a certain personality, like
Oh
to
fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure.
because
Um,
for doing it for a decade?
it it's like honestly, it's like anything in the arts, whether it's music production, art, graphic design, whatever art form it is, it requires 100% commitment. Like you really can't do anything else other than that because it's a craft, it's a skill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with any skill, it requires constant repetition and just getting the technique down. So you really need to be like a little crazy, bro. Because all the chefs I've worked for in some shape or form, they're a little mental, Yeah, dude. Especially like once you start going into like the the fine dining Michelin star restaurants,
Mhm.
fuck, forget about it, bro. Like everything's like fucking military, like
Like
perfection.
perfect. Yeah, I would just say that. Yeah.
It's a little crazy, and it definitely requires someone who is a little far out, because not everyone could work for 12, 16 hours every day, um, on your feet with little to no breaks. So, during, I think it was like after 2014, the labor laws were more enforced. So I would work at restaurants where they wouldn't give you breaks, or,
Fuck.
yeah, man. So you would literally work for like eight, I mean, sorry, like for 12, 16 hours straight with no break.
Damn. What about your
And
lunch?
yeah, and you would get free lunch, obviously, but you would have to eat it as you're like preparing and like as you're fucking still doing your job. So
Oh
because
wow.
if not, then you're gonna get your ass chewed for like not having a certain item ready for service. So it's it's a little tough. And I remember being a little boy and like crying about that. But eventually, as you grow older, you're just like you fucking just take it. And it wasn't until 2000 after like 2014 those that all really changed the whole industry.
And how would you compare your like your techniques in the kitchen with your music production process? I know, yeah, I think you can tie those two together.
For sure, yeah, man. Definitely, like it's very similar. Um, like if you think about it, you have like a certain base of a recipe, and it's just a matter of kind of um figuring out a formula. And once you get that formula, you just start adding your own flair to it. You know,
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
with music, like let's say you have like a certain kick or drum pattern, right? And it's just building upon that. Same thing with like the with kitchen or with a recipe. You have, like what? Let's see what will be a good example. I guess like a pizza, right? Your foundation will be the dough, and it's just building upon that pizza. I think that's like the best way I could kind of explain it right now.
yeah, yeah. And can you make a pizza from
Yeah, man,
scratch?
I can make a Neapolitan pizza from scratch for sure.
Damn, damn, that's tight. I bet
Yeah,
you
man.
that's good. That's good survival techniques too. Knowing how to cook, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Especially right now. I mean, I feel like right now everyone's becoming a chef, a baker. Because
We're hoping because I still because look, my job is still I guess considered essential, so I'm still out, going to work.
yeah,
And I don't know, these drive-through lines be looking long, so people are still coming out to the
dude,
drive-through.
like it's crazy how many people are like, still like going to get fast food and waiting in those long lines.
Yeah, legit. Yeah, that's still a thing. So I was just like, damn, dude. And I guess also too, even that's not even counting the people who are eating, fast food and getting delivery. So that's what I was saying. I'm hoping they're becoming chefs or trying to become chefs.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like after this experience that a lot of people are really going to change their lives, whether
That's true.
it's
Yeah.
career
Hmm.
wise, because this is giving everyone an opportunity, just like it's giving you and me an opportunity. Like I've been telling my friends and family, like, fuck, I wish I could just like produce all day. And, now all those people that were saying that have been granted that gift. So, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, like a lot of people are now going to be like, oh, since I've been cooking a little bit more, like I actually want to pursue a career in that. And that's great, because people need, like, for me at least, I need change, and then that's what I was talking about earlier, where it's like I'm finally putting my apron down with cooking, which is like I just like I'd still love it, and I would cherish I will always cherish those memories and the friends that I made, and the lessons that I've learned in that industry. But I just want to pursue something different now.
Yeah, I feel you. And then also like a decade. That's a long time.
Yeah, man, it is a lot of sacrifice for sure,
I feel you.
because
Yeah, and then
I missed out on a lot of things that I really didn't want to miss out. But at the time, that's what I was pursuing. So I understood what needed to be done in order for me to get to that certain level.
oh man, that's tight. That's good to hear too, for sure. That's reassuring as well too. And also too, I like that. I always tell people, I'm like, man, in our lifetime, we should be able to do like what we want, even if it's multiple things. You don't have to find one like career or one like thing just to do. Like, nah, it's cool to broaden your skills or just your interest of what you want to do as well too. So do something that you want to do.
Not for sure, man. I support that, 100% because you don't want to get burnt out of something, and I feel like that's what happened to me more or less. And you want to keep that passion and that one memory or that one experience that made you be like, this is what I want to do. This is why I love this shit. You
Yeah,
know?
and then also too, you're not. It's not like it's not that you're gonna stop cooking. You know, you're still gonna cook for yourself, so you're still gonna be able to get your experimentation and your skills, put into action.
No, for sure. Yeah, man. I'm like just because I stopped doing it professionally doesn't mean I'm not gonna cook for myself, my friends, my family. Like that's always gonna be a part of me, and you know, whether like what 10, 15 years from now, I'm still gonna be cooking for my friends. Like I love it.
And still in the cooking conversation, what would you consider your best plates or plates if you have multiple?
Honestly, dude, like I'm more of a baker than anything.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah. So I've been like doing pastry and like bread
yeah.
for the majority of my career. So I guess in that case, it will be more like croissants, you know, things like that, like baguettes, like sourdoughs and stuff like that. Like I would say like that's my probably like one of my favorite things to make.
As a LA native, like, do you have any? 'Cause I don't say restaurant recommendations, but like, I guess if you specialize with pastries, do you have anything? Do you have any recommendations with any shops or just bakeries that you want to shout out in LA that
Yeah, I
you
mean,
want
I
me to
could
try?
also do restaurants too, man, because I've done both, but hands
No,
down,
let's do that. We need both because next time I go to LA, when this
yeah, yeah,
opens up, I'm gonna go in there with more knowledge and.
yeah, man, for sure. Definitely check out one of my like favorite restaurants called Broken Spanish.
Mm,
I worked there for about 2 3 years under my mentor, best friend Ivan Marquez. He's the pastry chef there.
uh-huh.
The owner is named Raymond Garcia. He's a super solid guy, and the chef, the cuisine is named Jason Maddock, also an outstanding, talented chef. They mostly do they do Mexican food, but kind of like pan Mexican food. They use a lot of Mexican ingredients and then they just and recipes, and they just like do their own twist on it. It's extremely good. If you ever want to take like a date there or even with your friends, I definitely recommend eating there, trying their red snapper. It's pretty much like a mojarra,
Mm.
and then they have like solid tamales, which are seasonal. They change every season. Their desserts are solid. It's my and I'm not just saying that because my best friend makes them, or he used to make them. He now left the restaurant to go work at a different restaurant, but his presence is still there, and yeah, his the desserts are solid. The cocktails also are really fucking good. So if you like, I'm not sure if you like mezcal.
Oh, dude. Well, I tried it for the first time last August. I went to Mexico City for the first time and
Oh, dope, man. How's that?
it was awesome, man. Oh shit, man. I can like talk about it, but it was just amazing. It was beautiful. Like I haven't gone to Mexico in general for at least I was gonna say like 9, 10 years or 11, 10 plus years
Oh,
for
wow,
sure.
that's a long time.
Yeah, so and then just to kind of go, and it was with homies that we went. It was well, our homies were they did like a tour in a sense for a plane. So I just kind
Yeah,
of accompanied them. Like, dude, I want to go. I want to tag along, especially Mexico
yeah, dude.
City for the first time. So it was
That
good.
sounds so sick, man.
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I tried mezcal and I liked it as well too. And but yeah, so that's cool. So they have mezcal there. Good to know.
Yeah,
So
man. Solid bar menu. They have really good mezcal and tequila, and also like rums and different spirits from Mexico too.
oh wow, do they have whiskey from Mexico?
Uh,
Is that even a thing?
whiskey. I want to say yes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The the beverage director for Broken Spanish, his name is Chris Shernock. Super dope guy. He's like highly knowledge about like mezcal and tequila. So if you're ever in Los Angeles, definitely go to the bar. Even if you get like some like little like side dishes, dude, you'll be well fed and like you'll have really good meal.
That's tight. I'm down for that. Do you have any more
Yeah,
recommendations?
dude, if like what else? Do you like camarones, like tacos de camarones?
Well, to be honest, like sea people, hopefully I'm like airing myself out, but like with seafood, I'm always a little bit like that's kind of like my last option. But recently, just because I'm like I guess kind of eating like much healthier, like
Yeah,
at one point, like I didn't like salmon, but last time I tried some salmon and it tasted so good. I'm like, what the hell? But
dude, that's
so
so
yeah, I
crazy.
guess like, since now I'm kind of getting open to seafood, I'm down to try it. So
Yeah, man. If you're ever like in I want to say it's like kind of like the outskirts of East LA. I forgot the restaurant's name, but I do know the street's name. It's in the corner of Lorena and Olympic. There's usually like tacos trucks, but there's two restaurants that sell tacos de camarones and like mariscos and aguachiles and like all that good like Mexican seafood. Super good. I highly recommend you um check out, their food there. I mostly honestly do I mostly like street food. I think it's like super flavorful and it's also like relatively cheap and affordable. But there are days where like I'm like, okay, I want to eat like something like super like nice. So then I'll go to like a different restaurant. But I highly recommend that place. I'll look it up and I'll send you text of
dude,
like the
I'm
actual
down.
spot.
Yeah, I'm down for that. And wait, do you have any recommendation for pastries or any bakeries specifically?
Dude, I just found out like this restaurant closed, man, because of the whole COVID-19.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, and it's called Bon Temps. It's in uh it's in the Arts District on I think it's San Mateo or Santa Fe. Yeah, unfortunately they just closed. Yeah, because the whole pandemic. But do they have really good croissant and like really good pastries and breads? But unfortunately, like now it closed. But like that place was really good when I would go there. And I'm not too sure. I think this
Damn, so
restaurant's
that
also
means
closed. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say like so like man, this might change up the like just the food like options or just restaurant options then damn
Yeah,
that's
man, it
insane.
sucks. I'm not sure if you know this chef name. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Dude, I totally forgot. I blanked out. I forgot it. Oh, David Chang.
David
He's
Chang, no.
owner. He's the chef owner of Momofuku, and like he comes out on like Ugly Delicious on Netflix.
Oh no, no, I haven't, no.
So this guy out was like talking about this whole COVID-19 and how it's really affecting, especially in New York, man. A lot of restaurants are closing because of this, and are being affected because of this, and they're trying to figure out a way to help their staff because a lot of their staff, and this is just in general, man, like in the restaurant industry, a lot of the kitchen staff and like the dishwashers are undocumented immigrants. You know, they're the backbone of this whole industry, and like a lot of people are not aware of that, and unfortunately they don't qualify for the whole stimulus check. So what David Chang was doing, he was trying to figure out ways to help people that are undocumented because they're the backbone of the restaurant. Without dishwashers, dude, the restaurant will go down. And I've been in restaurants where I have to wash dishes and for like the whole shift.
Yeah.
So they're really
Just to keep
essential.
everything or just to keep the momentum and just basically the plates coming out, right?
Yeah, man, they're important, and it's unfortunate that this this pandemic is it's causing a lot of restaurants and bakeries to close, and but there are restaurants that are still finding little methods to supply to provide food. They're either like Broken Spanish, for example, they're doing curbside service, so you could place an order. I'm not too sure. I would just go through their Instagram or their website and then place an order, and they would you would just have to pick it up.
Oh, that's tight. That's super sick.
So they are finding ways to like generate income and keep employing their cooks, which is fucking dope, man.
That's tight. I like that. Damn, I might if I well, because I would have to make the trip from San Bernardino, but I'm down to fucking
Yeah,
try
man.
some.
Let me know, dude, and I'll let my chefs know, and then dude, I'm sure they'll treat you really well.
Ooh, I'm down.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man, you already
Yeah.
know.
Um, and just kind of more music talk, and we mentioned it earlier. Your recent music release, "Shortness of Life." How did the title come about? I like asking those type of questions. Like what inspired that title?
Yeah,
It
man.
means
What really inspired that title was this book called I think it's Shortness of Life from I want to say he's a philosopher or I don't know. It's this guy named Seneca. Um, so from what I got out of that book is like everyone has the same amount of time. Like you and I both have 24 hours in a day. It's just about how to how you go about and use it. You know, how you manage yourself and how you could pretty much accomplish many things if you just know how to manage your time. So during the make of that EP, I was working an early shift. So I would wake up at 3 in the morning because I had to be at work at 9. So I would wake up at 3 in the morning and start producing for like 4 hours, you know, and then I would go to work. And the reason why I would wake up super early because um when by the time I get off of work, my neighbors and like my whole family, my household would be super loud, and I wouldn't be able to get like in the zone. I would get distracted and irritated that you know my neighbors are like banging their basketball on my wall.
oh damn.
So like, and I would just like one day I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna wake up super early. And this is like from watching like these motivational videos on YouTube, like, like waking up at, 3, 4 in the morning and like getting your shit done, and I did that for like 4 months until I finished the EP. And then eventually my, shift was changed to a different time. So then I had to like adjust my whole schedule. But yeah, man, like it was all inspired from a book and how just to manage your time, dude. Even the titles of the tracks are all from like different chapters in the book that like these words like gravitated to me, and I was just like, yeah, dude, I'm like I get it, like like I just really wanted to advocate that time is a little irrelevant when it comes to like trying to become as successful,
Oh man, that's true. I like that. And I sometimes say like I think feeling. I mean, I said not time is more of a feeling. I think because sometimes it's with like I guess like what's like oh man that felt like 10 minutes but it was an hour or whatever so it felt like it or whatever it is so and it's all subjective on what you're doing and everything and I like that taking advantage of the whole day. I go in phases sometimes like right now currently like I'll be waking up early, go for a run, then take my dog for a walk, just get some stuff done. So I like that with a little phase that I'm at right now, and I've been there before, but then sometimes just get distracted and get into
yeah, man.
something
That see
else.
that's the thing, dude. Like, I mean, I'm sure you've heard these like people like influencers mentioning like how it takes around 60 to 90 days for a habit to be implemented into your like
Oh
your daily
yeah.
routine in life. And yeah, man, I definitely, you know, agree with that. Like it took me a while, and then it sucks because like then my work schedule changed. And like I love reading different interviews of like the DJs I inspired, and a lot of them like they're like it's about time management, because a lot of these DJs, producers, they have families and they have, a lot more responsibilities than what I have. So they have to pretty much figure out a way to utilize, whether it's like 2, 3 hours, but those 2 or 3 hours you could just get into a state of flow and like just time doesn't even exist for that moment. And that's essentially what I like to that's the state of mind that I like to get into when like I'm really focused and making new songs. Like the what do you call it? The remix for Trunkit and for uh, Guti and David Tronic. Like that's how I did it. Like I would wake up really early, get it done, and get into a state of flow, and then just bang it out. You know?
And for the uh remix for Truncate or for yeah for Truncate and for Guti, did you when did you have those done? or those already been
For
like
Trunk
months?
It, so Anthony, I think Anthony hit me up about it. He's like, "Hey, you should do it." And then I saw the post that he did on Facebook, and he's like, "Oh, I want to keep it like techno," and because I have like techno, but I don't know if you know this guy named like Foreign Guest, Five Circles. It's like fucking like um kind of like a little deeper than like Afterlife shit and a little underground. I don't know
Oh
if you
no,
heard of those guys.
to be honest, no. I probably sound like a noob.
No, man, don't worry, dude. It's like I'll be more than happy to turn you on to those guys. But it's like super deep and like fucking stripped down. But yeah, like I that's the style I like. So I pretty much got it done in about 2 days. And then I like let it sit for a while. I sent it to Anthony and I got his opinion on it. And he also participated in that competition. His remix was fucking sick too.
Oh, that's tight. I didn't even, damn, you
Yeah, hit
on
him up.
the.
I'm sure he'll be more than happy to
Oh, he hasn't posted it up?
I don't think so.
'Cause you know
But
a lot of
I'm
people,
sure
they kinda.
he actually did it way quicker than I did. He got it done quick and he just like I just did it, mixed it, and then just sent it off. And I was like, fuck. So when he did it, I was like, shit, I should do a similar approach. So then I finished the whole track and then I let it digest and like kind of like marinate and age for a while
Mhm.
for like a couple of days. And then I heard it again, did some final tweaks, mixed it, and then I did like a ghetto master and send it off to him.
I like that, ghetto master term. I think I've seen that a couple of times from other homies. At first, I used to think I'm like, "Ghetto master? Is that just part of the title?" But then I understand realizing, like, it's like, I guess, their own version of a master.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I'm not an engineer or anything, so I mean, I know how to do it, but to a professional extent where like I could charge people, not dude, I would feel like a fucking like an asshole doing that. But I just pretty much did like very little EQ, and then I got it to about like, what it was probably like 10 LUFS, something like industry like standard loudness, and then that was it, man.
Oh, damn, that's tight. And talking about music like production, like, do you have any tips or anything like, for up and comers or just, other fellow colleagues?
Dude, I have several, and I'll be more than happy to share them with you. And now I guess I'll like explain them in from like highest priority to like lowest.
Yeah,
Like
please.
from like the highest, and this is from my experience, and then from what my mentor,
Uh-huh.
um, also he agrees with this is getting an engineer.
Mm.
Like honestly, like if you're really serious, like a lot of your colleagues and my colleagues, like if you're fucking 100% serious and like you want to do this professionally, you need an engineer. Just like any other producer, any other artist, they you need help, man. It comes down to like you need help and you need someone that could has the experience, that has the fucking time, that has especially the ear to be like, hey man, this sounds a little muddy or this arrangement's a little redundant. Let's do some variations here. And it's always best to get a professional to oversee your production, you know? And what I was mentioning to you earlier, like my engineer, which I would want to shout out for him. His name is Jean Patrice. He's a Montreal native. He goes by Feek. Again, I'll be more than happy to link you up with him
Ooh,
and with
okay.
any other of your friends,
Yeah.
because I could vouch for myself and like for everyone that ever since I started, as because he's now like my mentor. He mentors me a lot, and he's also an engineer and a friend, to be honest. And we do Zoom meetings with other producers in the Facebook page, which I'll be more than happy to turn you on to, and to the audience, so that you could see and feel a sense of community. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, like after I started working with him, I think we've done, I want to say 15 to like 20 tracks together already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. So like I pretty much get my tracks done as much as I can, and to the point I'm sure you've gotten to a point where it's like, dude, okay, I got it to as far as I can, and I don't know what else to do. This is when an engineer slash um, producer does for you. Like they will be like, "Hey, man, you have solid ideas. It's just a matter of extending them, creating variations with what you have." Because in my early days of like producing, I was always like, "Oh, I need to add something. I need to add something." Where it's like, dude, like you have your essential, your foundation. As long as you have a solid groove, it's a matter of like extending it and like creating variations, using what you have, and manipulating those sounds to get you to a finished track. You know, and with a mentor slash engineer, um, this happens. You know, and after that, like that whole shortness of life, and to be honest, like from here on out to the future, like Feek is going to be my engineer for the rest for as long as I could say. You know,
And that's
'cause,
that like that you'll be able to like both each other also like cultivate and grow and evolve the workflow that you guys have, you know?
dude, it's so crazy because I remember like the first 5 tracks. You know, obviously the first track, it was our first time working out, and then he did an outstanding job. But if you know, if like you hear the songs that we started working on from like day one up until now, dude, totally different. It's more like like super professional sounding now, and like it's more fuller. Like things make sense now. There's a lot of more cohesiveness in the songs, and like our style is changing together because it's pretty much he's my um producing partner, if in a way, and it's great, man. Like we both work really well together. We have similar tastes in music, and and we've been doing this through like emails and like Zoom chats, you know. So it's been fucking dope, and I've been working with him for about 2 years now.
Oh, that's a good time. That's good. Like, and how you said, oh, that's why you guys been able to get those those 15, 20 tracks in.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I think we have like now 30.
What was gonna say? Wait, I was gonna say, well, one, because you said the Zoom meetings is because he lives in Canada, right?
Yeah, he lives in Montreal.
That's tight. Oh yeah, and then you're talking about an engineer. Kyle Geiger. He's recently been doing these like isolation workshops and
Oh
everything.
shit,
And
for real?
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I've been kind of watching like a couple and everything. Like one of his recent episodes is the mix down process.
Yeah,
So it's pretty cool. Like he gives his tips and everything. And he mentioned that he has an engineer who he kind of sometimes was, he like. But it's funny how you said that he gets that the references back. He lets him know like, hey, this part might need some, it's sounding muddy, might need some work or some EQ in here or something. So it's funny how you said that. I'm like, damn, that's tight. Like, for the most part, I'm guessing a lot of people that have that same relationship with with an engineer, and it's
yeah,
always back and forth, until you kind of get the most content and best
yeah, man. And I
product.
just that just as a disclaimer is like this guy's not doing my songs. Like I 100 like probably like 98% of the time I send him a complete track, and he literally has to do not like very little work. It's mostly mixing and like doing some like embellishments and like what he calls decorations, where it's like little subtle things, um where it's like you would have to probably hear it 3 or 4 times to get those little nuances, and oh shit, okay, this is what he did. But um now him and I are to the point where it's like, okay, I trust his fucking judgment. Like I'm not, because at first I was like, oh wait, I don't know. But then as I started, you know, making more songs, like the things that he would add, I started adding now. So now what what I lacked before, I gained now. And now he's trying to find different things that I'm lacking in when I should, because obviously I send him like references like, hey, this is like these are the tracks that I'm vibing right now. Like this is the direction I want to go. And since dude, he's been in the rave scene for like 25 years now, and he's been doing it for such a long time. And he actually has a website. Again, I'll provide it to you and to the audience, where he creates a service. He does mixing and mastering, and he also does this track finalization, that which is what I do. And it pretty much, you give him an almost complete track, and he helps you complete it. And hands down, I could say that that's like the best investment and the best move for any up and coming producer. That's like the highest priority right now for
Yeah.
me. it's like doing that. Like if you have friends that are like, hey man, I'm getting stuck, or like they have tons of ideas, definitely I could link them up together, and that would eventually become, it won't happen anymore. Like, and it's a sense of like accomplishment, dude. In all honesty, it's like hell yeah. Like I send them a song, and now it's done, and now I could move on
Mm-hmm.
and start a new project, and then eventually hit a plateau, and then that's when I send it off to them.
And talking about new projects, you have new projects too that you're working on, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, I have I want to say 5 EPs already done.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's just like um, like after releasing with Night Rings, it's just a matter of like, okay, now I get how people release it, and then also seeing like different artists like releasing their things like through on their own terms, because for a long time I was always like, oh, I want to be on this label, I want to be on this label, or and then you send out your EPs, and regardless if they're like mastered and like done, some people just like it doesn't fit the label, or some people just don't vibe it, and honestly, and this is a conversation that my engineer and I have. It's like a lot of it is contacts. It really comes down to like who do you know, and like if this person like he vibes with you and you have a pretty good relationship, then chances are they're gonna put you on their label.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. So, but like now it's like I kind of want to just release music on not like I would want to have a record label, but I just want to release my music so people could enjoy it, because I pretty much have like 5 EPs done, and they're just in my laptop.
That's tight. And do you have any maybe estimated time that at least maybe one of those five EPs will be released?
For sure. So what Anthony I have been talking about, and also like this is what Anthony and I love him for what he's doing. He's creating a collective of individuals of like, especially um like in the Black and brown community, where he's creating a platform and a collective where different artists are able to like get exposure and release their material. And dude, he does all the paperwork for you. He like schedules the releases. He manages all like the money that's coming in, and dude, he doesn't take any commission, and which he should probably like. I should fucking be hooking up with some cash, but like dude, he's like super humble, and like he's doing all this for the love of like the scene, the music, and for just seeing an artist grow. You know?
Yeah, those are the vibes I got exactly when he sent me like the message, like, connecting us, and just kind of like it was dope. Like he made it like really like I don't know, he really cares about the people who he's helping, put on or just share their music in general. So it was tight. So shout out to Anthony for sure. I
Yeah, man.
see all the hard work he's doing.
He's dope, and I can't wait for the next releases that he's gonna be putting out, and also because I'm obviously gonna be keep releasing off of Night Rings, but yeah, dude, like he's doing an outstanding job. I just can't wait till like once we get out of this whole pandemic, and 'cause what we want to do is like throw parties and
Hey, I want to go
do
to a
all that
party.
stuff, man. So you already know you'll be there too, man.
Do you have any collaborations with Anthony?
Not yet. He's been like super busy, 'cause he had just finished school, and he's like trying to find work. But dude, like honestly, like all this fucking pandemic shit, like kind of postponed a lot of things for us.
I feel you on that. Yeah. Yeah, that's for a lot of people. For the most part, I think I remember at one point I didn't even think that this pandemic was gonna affect the podcast. I'm like, oh, I'm still. But then I realized I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm not gonna be able to meet up with anybody of the people that I want to interview.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
dude,
that
it,
was
it sucks,
intense.
man. But yo, you were able to figure it out, and I think you're doing an outstanding job.
Oh man, thank you. Hell yeah, here and then you're giving, and it's just cool that people are kind of are down to be a a part of it. So thank you and Anthony for sure, man. Once again, like anything.
Yeah, man. Of course.
Um, I was gonna ask you as well too. Um, you dabble in house and techno, so
Yeah.
I like So, a little bit of some discourse. What's your opinion on people who choose like one over the other? Me and the homie Third Project have, we've had this talk multiple times, and we both feel like both are needed, both coexist, for both to exist.
Yeah. No,
So,
for
what's your
sure. I
opinion
mean,
on that?
honestly, dude, like again, this goes back to what we're talking about earlier. It's like what why are you just gonna segregate yourself to one fucking genre or like one style, you know? It's like there are days where I just want to go into a fucking like hypnotic trance and dude, I'm gonna be fucking vibing to some techno, you know, all night. But then there's days where like I wanna like groove and like just fucking, dance alone and like with your eyes closed and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all how you're really feeling, but I mostly gravitate towards house because I like I'm a horrible dancer, but I love to groove and just sway my body. And if you're like on a psychedelic, my boy, it's gonna be fucking dope. You know, you're just gonna be tripping like in the most beautiful way possible. But
Yeah,
but then again, there's days where I just want to like hear fucking techno and just like fucking go mental. You know?
that's true. Dude, that whole, like how you said, just go mental. That's for sure, man. That's, oh man. I think the last I went to the Paula Temple, 6 a.m. slash Synthetic Minds, aka work, warehouse party. That shit was tight.
Was that the
Um,
last party you went to?
that was the last party. It's funny because that day I also DJ'd. I DJ'd at Soft Leather, and then
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember. Now that you mentioned that, I remember that event happened also.
yeah, it was like back to back. So I kind of DJ'd, maybe chilled for a little bit, picked up my equipment, and then headed off with a Third Project to Paula Temple. And goddamn, that thing was tight, but it was crazy because I wear glasses. Okay, so
Yeah.
right when I stepped into the warehouse, my glasses fogged up. I was like, "Holy
It
shit,
was
dude!" I
was it
can't.
like hot or something or
Yeah, it was high. It was high. It was a because it was packed. It was just packed with people. Like to the back, right when you entered the entrance, like it was already packed. I'm like,
dude, that's
"Holy
man, those are the
smokes!"
parties that fucking are the best, man.
It's like I'm glad at least I guess I got to go mental, before
Yeah.
everything
Dude,
shut
my
down
last party
here.
was Chaos in the CBD. Who was throwing it, man? I think it's Midnight Lovers.
Oh,
That was my last party, and then I'm not sure if you know this. I mean, he's been making music for a while now. His name is Kike Mayor.
wait, Kike Mayor.
Yeah, this Peruvian guy. He throws a party with alongside with this other guy, this really talented DJ called Enzo Muro. They're both
No.
Peruvians. I've been going. I went to their first part, or not to the first part, but like to their party when they brought this guy in, super talented producer from Texas called Chocolate.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah, he's on Vatos Locos.
Oh shit, yeah, yeah, I know about those locals.
Yeah, yeah. So he's super dope. I think his name is Jonathan. He uh he made his first debut in Los Angeles. He played at Mixlab, and then he played at with Kike, because Kike and Enzo, and I'm sure other people, they throw this party called You Know What, and they get underground artists from like Romania. Like it's very minimal house, like house like vibes, like underground shit, like oriented for sure.
I don't know why the name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, man, dude. Again, like I'll send you all this information that you need so that that you could support these guys and just build a sense of community, man. Because it's funny because like I didn't know anything about Kike. It wasn't until my engineer introduced us via Facebook, and then during the time when my engineer Kike got him to play over here in LA, but I was in Napa, so I couldn't meet both of them. So then when I came back, that's when Kike was like, "Oh, he's gonna throw a show," and then and he was bringing out Jonathan or Chocolate, and I've been following this fucking guy for a while now, and I wanted to see him, and then they were Kike is a really nice guy, super humble guy, and he loves this shit as much as we do.
Damn, that's tight. I'm for sure gonna write. And the cool thing, like I was just thinking, I'm like, man, the cool thing about these podcast episodes and me talking to you and everybody else, I get put on to artists, and people who have been in it before. So, and that's the main thing why I even kind of started the podcast. I'm like, dude, like, just getting to know people, letting them know their stories, and it's like an education for me and everybody else listening too. You know, we get to hear about your perspective, and through yours guys' perspective, we know. I don't know. We get to know. We get to put the pieces together, you know, and see like how it was before, and who are these people, and just genres and artists. I don't know. I learn. That's the main thing.
No,
Is
yeah,
learn.
man, for sure. I mean, this is I agree. Like, this is very like educational, and for the viewers that are like, oh, like, who is that person? You know, and that this conversation that we're having may, you know, may inspire someone and be like, okay, I'm gonna look this guy up, and then they go to the event or they hear the music, and then they're they get like that aha moment, and then dude, you know, they become a fucking fan, or just a fucking, you know, they just get motivated to make music or attend these parties.
Man, that's true. And do you have any personal favorites, like artists of LA right now, holding it down? You know, like maybe like up and comers, maybe again some of your colleagues. You know, our colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, right now for sure, number one, it has to be Kike. Like, what he's doing is fucking dope, especially for like the whole like underground house and minimal scene. Like, I love it, dude, because that's my style mostly. I just like his story, dude. Like, he's been fucking grinding for a cool minute. He has tons of releases on vinyl and digital, and he's just like us, man. He's trying to live off this and just fucking be a sick ass DJ and producer, man. So
Yeah, yeah,
hands
yeah.
down is Kike Mayor, man. Like, look that fool up. He has a label, Saint and Don't. Also, they're on Instagram, and definitely take advantage of every first Friday, I believe, in Bandcamp. You could purchase music, and all the money will be sent to the artist and the
Oh
label.
yeah, like it just happened this past Friday, right?
Yeah, so every first Friday of every month, I believe, until the end of the year, um, the artist will be getting 100% of the revenue. So it's pretty dope, man.
Hey, 'cause right now I'm looking at I looked up Kike Mayor, and then it also says people also search for Feek.
Yeah, Feek.
That's your
That
engineer, right?
yeah, that's my engineer.
Hey, I'm looking at him right now. That's tight.
Yeah, super
Yeah,
fucking
that's
dope,
tight.
dude. I love that guy. He's fucking funny. He's honestly, man, and like, I'll send you his website where you could like get all like how much he charges and everything, dude. His prices are super
Yeah, it
like,
popped up right here. It says Feeks mixed down and mastering
yeah.
audio
His
services.
um his prices are super affordable, and they're in Canadian dollars, so like obviously it'll be a little bit cheaper for us. But um, dude, like I said earlier, if you're 100% fucking serious about this shit, um, contact Feek, or allow me to introduce you guys, and then dude, he'll take really good care of you. And um, I just want to, for me at least, man, is like just supporting Feek, because he's giving me a lot of confidence, and like, just he made me believe in my music, man. And it's just, he inspires me, and like what he does, like he charges like super affordable, because he wants artists to get to a certain level, And the way I see it, dude, it's like, if the artist that Feek is helping become successful, then Feek is successful, you
That's
know.
tight. That's
And
tight. I love that, man.
yeah, dude. So like, yeah, man, if you have any projects, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to introduce you to him or any of your friends, colleagues. Like, dude, connect me with them, and I'll be more than happy to introduce them to Feek, and then that way, like, and I'll be, and also like on my end, I'll be more than happy to give you guys like before and after clips,
Oh,
just so like, if you're a
some
little
reference.
like, oh, I don't know, because I was like that when I came across him, because I came across him. I've known about his services for about 4 years, and I was always like little iffy about it, because I was like, I was like, oh, this is cheating, and but then one day I was fed up, man. I was like, shit, I can't fucking get out of this run. Like, I have all these tracks that are almost done, but they're not done. And then one day I hit him up, and the rest is history, man.
Damn, that's tight. That's inspirational. That's motivational too, man. I love
Yeah,
that.
dude. Like, this is what I really just, I want to help people out, dude. Like, as much as possible, because a lot of people have helped me out coming up. You know, like earlier I was telling you about how a mentor of mine turned me on to Ableton. His name is Roger. He's a he does like drum and bass, but I was getting lessons from that guy for a cool minute. This was back in like 2015, 2014. And he got me to a certain level, but then after like we kind of like matched skill sets. So I wasn't he felt bad for me like kind of like still like pay him for lessons and shit. And he was like, yo, dude, like I can't teach you no more, you know? So like I pretty much was doing it solo for a long time, and then I came across Feek, and dude, I after that it's like everything has been moving more quickly.
Damn, that's tight. That's funny how like looked up Kike Mayor and I'm like, hey, that's his Feek. I'm like, I think that's him. That's
Yeah, man.
tight.
Kika, he's super dope guy. He does a bunch of live streams with promoters from Peru.
Hmm.
So I mean, cause like dude, Latin America is fucking they love to party just as much as as much as North America. So like um he's definitely been fucking grinding, and like he just recently has a release. I think it's 38. It's on Bandcamp. It's a 4-track EP, solid fucking and it's like a self-release. So um and there's the tracks are really fucking good.
Damn, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, man. Also, like his buddy Enzo Muro. I'm not sure if he produces, but he is a really good DJ.
Oh damn. And they do they play in LA like
Yeah,
frequently
yeah,
or
dude. They're LA natives. I'm not
oh
sure
damn.
where exactly they live in LA, but they're constantly playing at like Temple Tuesday at Pattern Bar
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with fucking Ray Cash and like all those fools. So it's crazy, dude, because like everyone here, like all these people that I'm like meeting now, it's like they're all in this like circle and everyone knows each other and shit.
And I think that's how it becomes as well too. Like when you think about it, like in the larger like worldwide electronic music like scene, like the people over here in LA, that's the circle, or that's your part of the ecosystem, in the big
Yeah,
electronic
man.
music.
And dude, like it's cool because like both Kike and Enzo, like they're they're doing their own thing, and they're bringing artists that other um promoters are not doing. But honestly, like if I had to choose the three best promoters, in like for me at least, hands down is Dialogue number one. Those fools are fucking wicked. After Dialogue, I want to say it's like let's do four better because I just remembered one. So it's Dialogue, hands down, like the best fucking parties. Then it's Rhonda.
Hmm.
I don't know if you heard of Rhonda.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Rhonda's dope as fuck. Like I love their parties. Um, what Gregory does is an outstanding job. I support his parties 100%. Then it's I mean they haven't been throwing a lot of parties, but the last party I went to with Chaos in the CBD, Midnight Lovers, they're dope as fuck too. And then fucking you know what? Like those guys are all those four are like probably my hand like favorite.
Damn, that's tight.
Promoters,
That's
man.
Man, right now you're just mentioning like parties. I'm like, damn, like when is the next one? But
I
I'm
know,
not
dude.
sure.
I feel it too, man. Like I want to fucking I just want to be around people and like just
I know that's the thing, because
feel
like
the
you can
vibe, you
easily,
know?
yeah, you can easily party in your room. You can play those live streams, get a little bit litty, dance around, but just like that communal feeling, man.
I'm right there too,
But
man.
soon, soon, it's coming. It's coming. I
It will,
think.
dude.
I
And I'm
think. I'm
sure
looking
once it
hope.
comes, for fucking, we're all gonna go a little crazy, you know?
It's gonna be mental, how you said. How you.
Hell yeah, dude! I can't fucking wait.
And everybody's like, dude, that first like party like coming back, it's gonna be like it's legit gonna be a celebration. Like, well, it's
Hell
always
yeah,
a
dude.
celebration. But then I guess like meaning like it can be get a little bit mundane sometimes, and you lose the sight of like what like partying could be and what it is and stuff. But yeah, it's gonna
Oh
be
yeah,
nice.
man. For sure.
And like it's been inspirational talking to you and motivational, but like what do you see in your future? What more do you hope to accomplish, as an artist and chef too? So well, chef is an artist, so
Yeah.
it's an artist,
Um.
so yeah, as an artist.
Honestly, dude. What I would love to pursue is what DJ Tennis and his girlfriend. think Bex. I'm not sure what her name is, but they throw parties from this party crew called Rascatella. Yeah, so they're based in Miami, both DJ Tennis, and like they throw parties all over the world, and sometimes DJ Tennis cooks, or his name is Malfredi Romano. So Manfredi will be cooking, and like he'll do like a certain menu, and obviously he'll charge a fee for a certain amount of party goers to experience his food, and he also like contributes to like like the homeless through these foods, just like Seth Troxler. I'm sure you've seen those on Resident Advisor,
Yeah. Uh huh.
like similar approach. But honest, like, cause just so you know, like Manfredi DJ Tennis, like he's my favorite DJ because when they did that little documentary on electronic beats, they did an interview on him, or like a little documentary, and he talked about how he was a chef and how he grew up listening to punk. So like I clicked with that guy, and then when I played for the first time in LA, like dude, I was a little fucked up, So like I was like, dude, just showing how much love and inspiration that guy has provided for me. And so as essentially that's something I would love to do, in like throw parties or be a part of a crew that throws parties, and then like catch a set and then cook for people.
Damn, that's tight. And I just looked it up right now. I didn't even know he was a chef. So that they see, I learned something else new again.
Yeah, man. I'll send you his link on YouTube. If
But
you
the crazy thing
haven't-
is, I've seen DJ Tennis. I saw him when he played at Beyond Wonderland when it was the Carl and Cox Friends. It's like stage,
Oh shit, yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude,
and
that
he
was a
played. And
yeah,
so, damn, that's tight. That's super sick.
yeah, dude.
Damn, that's
So like he's fucking dope. Like I mean, other DJs are also like chefs, like fucking who is it? Fire.
and Seth Troxler too, right? He's
Yeah,
some
Seth
type.
Fox is a chef. Who else? Dubfire.
Wow,
I
I didn't know
think
that.
Marco Carola also.
Oh, oh wow.
All those foods are like at one point in their lives they were chefs, but I think the one who was actually like a full on chef, like with the whole like restaurant, was DJ Tennis.
Oh,
I
he's
could be
kind of a
wrong. I mean, I'm,
certified,
I'm sure I could be wrong, but
DJ, bro.
um, yeah, dude. As soon as I like watched that, like I clicked with him, and then his whole early releases off of Life and Death are like my fucking like my favorites, bro. Like those are like I love those records.
I'm gonna have to revisit him. That was tight. He played a dope set for sure. That's cool to know that, like, his little side stuff. I know I want to check out an interview right now that said that kind of was going down, and it said like life and something, but I said like Burning Man. So I'm guessing he's done Burning Man a lot
Oh,
too.
dude,
Or
yeah, motherfuckers, bro. He's 50 and he's like still fucking raving. Like he's doing massive tours and shit, and he's running a label, and his girlfriend is like running the Rascatella um event. So like they're both and I met both of them, dude. They're both fucking super like humble, like down to earth people. Especially his girlfriend. Like I was like, hey, can you when like Malfredi is free, can you like you know can you get us together so we can take a photo and I can talk to him? He's like, I think she's from Nicaragua or Venezuela, one of those countries, and like we were talking in Spanish, and she's like, no, claro que sí, like I'll get him right now, and I'm sure he'll love to hear, how much you like his music and everything. And they're both cool people, man, and they throw dope parties. Unfortunately, they haven't thrown one in LA, but they've thrown them in Miami because that's where they're based.
okay, that's tight. I saw that DJ Tennis is from Italy, right?
Yeah, from Italy.
Nice, Manfredi. That's tight. Um, so we're kind of coming to the end of the interview. Is there anything that is worth mentioning that maybe was not talked about, or is there something that you want to kind of like give another you know reassurance, or something that you want to say, or something that you want to at least stand out of this?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, man, what I really want people to get out of this is like, okay, wherever skill set you're at in your music production, DJing, um, just know that collaborating, reaching out to people, like it's essential. Like that, when you work with another person, not only are you like seeing their workflow, but they're giving you their insights on how they approach like DJing two track or mixing two tracks or like arranging a song. So that's really important. And like I want people not to feel like hesitant. Like I'll be more than happy to, you know,
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna keep
collaborate with
that in.
people and help people out and shit. You know, because this is a community, and especially during uh, these times right now during the pandemic, like reach out to as like local artists, reach out to people, you know, and do it in like in a respectful and chill way. And that's something I had to like. I'm like still like learning how to like not be like hey, you know, but it takes time, man, and don't feel scared because like regardless of what skill set you're at, everyone was in the beginning and in the bottom at one point. And I was very fortunate to get help from people, and I want to do the same for people that have the potential to fucking be a fucking sick ass artist. And if I could help them, it's fucking great. It's exactly what Feek is doing to people and up and coming artists and DJs. Like that's what I want to do. I just want to help people out. So I think that's
I'm gonna keep that in mind for sure because I'm kind of stuck right now in my music production, so I need some
yeah, man,
feedback.
dude. And like I said, like I won't unless you ask me to add something different. I'll 100% like just use what you have and then just extend that because when you from my experience is that when you have an artist like send you something and then okay this is how much I got stuck, if you could utilize what they have and just manipulate it in a certain way and like just extend the track, that gives the artist more confidence and self-belief and assurance in themselves that okay what I have is enough, so I shouldn't be constantly thinking about oh I need to add this or I need to add that, where it's like no dude, you have the essentials that you need and the foundation is just a matter of creating subtle variations, adding here, little things here and there, and that's pretty much it, man.
And that's tight. Literally, I feel like you're just talking to me right now, like directly for reals, like because that's what I was driving back right, or driving to where I'm like recording the interview right now at the homie's house. I was thinking about, I'm like, man, I think I need to add something. It needs something, but right now you said like it might not even need anything. You can just work with what you have, and how you said,
Yeah, man. I
have
mean, it's
that.
because like, dude, you've been listening to the same sounds for days, weeks, you know, hours. Like, of course, you're gonna feel like shit. I feel like I need something. So when you get a different set of ears, um, and like you know, someone who like understands like how to arrange or how to do things a certain way, like that's gonna help out a lot more. And if you could utilize what you have, even better, man. Because not because when you utilize what you have, it forces you to figure out ways to manipulate a sound to give you a certain texture, a certain vibe, a certain feel. So, you know, have confidence in what you have and just learn how to manipulate, and then that makes you a better producer. Because after that, okay, you'll be like, okay, I remember, oh, I remember I did this and this for this sound. What if I do the same effect and I add this and I do this variation, and boom, you have a new technique.
Oh man, that's tight. I love it.
Yeah,
And
man.
then
So it's little
you're
things like
comfortable
that.
with Ableton, so for sure gonna hit you over some tips.
Yeah, man. I'll be like I said, I'll be more than happy to help you and anyone else. Like, just feel. I just want people to feel comfortable and like not shy because I'm super shy and like you know, and I understand how it feels like when you get stuck or frustrated and you're just like shit, you know. But if you have someone who could help you, you know, get you that confidence and like just expand what ideas you have, even better, man.
Man, I love it, man. Man, you heard it though. Here in Beyond Normal Days, if you need some tips from Christopher Salapa, hit him up, hit the inbox. But Chris, before signing off, let the listeners know where they can find you. On the social media.
Sure. Yeah. My Instagram is just Christopher Salapa. Also, like if you go on SoundCloud, you would just type in the same thing. Like I'm really just going based off my full name. Probably down the road, I'll change it to like an alias, but for the most part, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and SoundCloud, and hopefully soon I'll be getting onto a resident advisor.
Hey, nice. I love it, man. Christopher Salapa. Dude, thank you again for this. Thank you, Anthony. But dude, it it was so dope getting to know you because you're an awesome producer and artist in general. So down the road, when you're because you're in a sense developing to like the level of like how Feek is. So once you're there, we can look back and be like, dude, remember when you're talking about in this point in life, and then you can look back to this interview and be like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Of course, absolutely, dude. I'm here to help and provide any assistance, regardless of like what skill level or anything, man. Even if it's food, dude. If you need like a recipe, like I'll fucking shoot you some. You know?
Dude, I'm down for that. I'm actually super down for that. That's gonna be tight.
Yeah, man. Just let me know what you're into, and then I'll be more than happy to help you, man.
Dude, thank you, man. Well, that concludes the Christopher Zalapa Beyond Normal Days episode. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Guillermo, and thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate everything both of you have done for me.
Yes, shout out Anthony, aka In Between. Shout out Night Rings.
Oh yeah,
Thank
Night
you.
Rings, my boy.
Yeah, alrighty, man. Bye bye.
All right, brother. Peace.